शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा, शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा। शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा, शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang, titled Brahmachari or Celibacy. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced disciple of a perfect living master. Today we will be talking about Brahmachari, which is celibacy in English. And for those of you who wants to know, celibacy is like someone who does not marry or have sexual relations with another human being. So, okay, let's begin. Usually, when you mention Brahmachari, right, it's usually associated with the practice of monkhood, where one is obeying one of the more important precepts in monkhood, especially maybe in Buddhism. Brahmachari is a requirement to say for spiritual development when you are a monk. So what's your view on, or tell us more about Brahmachari?
Okay. So from what I know from my own culture, so they also the word Brahmachari is actually in our language because we adopt it from the Hindu culture, the Vedic directly. So the concept of Brahmachari in the Southeast Asia is widely known. And in Thailand, we have like during particular time that the spiritual practitioner, they going into the retreat mode, they will keep this to be able to advance in their spiritual level. So there are the 5 basic precepts that we keep, but in that is not include Brahmachari. But in Thailand, if you also want to keep Brahmachari concept, there's the 8 precepts where you will see people retreat at home wearing all white, and they tie their hair up. They don't wear any jewelry. They don't wear any perfume. They will sleeping on the hard surface, like on the floor or on a very hard bed. And there are 10 precepts where you will see that people wearing white retreat at the temple, sleep on the hard surface, eating 1 meal a day, and not eating in the PM, in the afternoon. And those people who keep 10 precepts will actually shave their head. And that's also the precept of the monk in Buddhism is 227 precepts that strictly also observe Brahmachari as well. And for the Bhikkhuni, mean a female monk, so they will keep 311 precept as well. So that also including this concept of Brahmachari, celibacy. So now, this concept is to the purpose of the concept of Brahmachari is to purify yourself, being purifying your body, purifying your emotion, and purifying your thought. So the main concept is for you to be empty vehicle. So at that time, the truth will come in more when you empty of all of these lower sensation that make your mind lower down, your attention from your wisdom eye chakra lower down to your lower part of the body. That's the main concept of this. But in Thailand, because people sometimes take this concept to the extreme, then even when people that stay in a family, when they keep these 8 or 10 precepts, even they at home, they separate the bedroom with their partner. And during that time, they wouldn't do anything, even hug or touch, their partner, because they say that, oh, I observe these precepts. And sometimes the partner or the children, can be unhappy because of this, extreme, concept of precept. My suggestion is that, yes, you can still be spiritual practitioner, staying in a family, doing your duty, whatever, your life required to do, right? Because like a sexual desire is there for human to reproduce. It's time to time arise in the human body. Just like the animal, they have time that they are in need, right? And it's normal. Like if you are hungry and you're not eating the food, then you will feel upset and miserable, right? And your mind will not be clear, right? And cannot focus because the attention is lower down to your tummy because you're hungry. So the urge or the design of like a sexual urge, sometimes it's like that too during to the hormone change within the month cycle. So it sometimes arise. Then it's not bad to satisfy that with your partner. But my suggestion is that not, dwell upon that, not be obsessive about that. It just to satisfy so you can become like a clear head again. Then you clear that hunger, and then you can raise your attention once again to the wisdom eye chakra, right? Because we still have physical body, we have to take good care of that. And if we do something unnatural to it, then later on it will become sickness. In Thailand, there's a study that many monks, they have prostate cancer because they try to suppress this urge of the body. And it's very natural that in 1 month, this feeling will arise in you. And you have to kind of satisfy it, and take care of it. Otherwise, it will create sickness in that chakra, bad energy in that chakra first. And after that, it become emotion. It become the physical sickness. a lot of monks die of prostate cancer in Thailand because they don't understand this and they think that, by satisfying that, um, um, they violate the precept. Being, and I saying this, I'm not mean to criticize anybody practice or any religion. It's not in my position to do so. I'm only saying this from the observer of the true point of view because I'm true seeker, right? When I look at all of these things, I will try to make sense of everything in the logical way and adopt it as the logical practice toward the truth.
Okay, interesting that you brought up that thing about the monk. Because I have here a letter written by probably a seeker to dear Master Ishwara Puriji. So this person was asking, and he was quoting the book Philosophy of the Masters, written by Great Master himself. And in that book, I think Great Master mentioned something like, you should always keep the company of pure and chaste men or persons. If you fail to get such company, meditate on the form of the Master with love and devotion. And in this manner, your inner impurities will be gradually washed away, washed out, right? So the question that this brother was asking is, so what's the purpose to meditate on the form of a Master who himself is not chaste and pure, right? In order to protect us from lustful ideas coming from the outside. So this person was saying that even PLMs themselves, perfect living masters themselves, are not pure in the sense that they don't live this brahmachari kind of life. And maybe you have an answer for that, or should I just briefly just read out the answers provided by Ishwarji himself? Okay, so Ishwarji mentioned in his letter that briefly that all perfect living masters, with very few exceptions, have been regular household and family men. So they have married and have children, took care of their families just like ordinary people like us. However, they produce children like anyone without having lustful ideas because they are not attached to anyone and perform their duties towards their families where they maintain their integrity. So in fact, Great Master himself, Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh Ji, himself had a large family. He lived like any householder but did not show any lustful look towards anyone. On one hand, he loved everybody unconditionally, which is a true mark of a saint and a perfect living master. So briefly, this is what Ishwarji wrote and replied. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, so yes, that's one time there's a monk asking me about this in Thailand because in my group there's also nun and monk try to seek for the truth about their customs and and traditional practice. So one monk and also the nun asking me about the concept of Brahmachari from the perfect living master perspective. Then I give the answer to them case by case, starting from Supreme Master Shinghai, and after that I told about Ishwara Puriji and Babaji later. So I will tell you all of that, right? I said to the monk, like, yes, in the perfect living master part or the part of the master or Sant part, they're not really strict about the concept of Brahmachari or celibacy. Most of the master, they getting married, they have their family life, they have their wife, they have their children. right? But some master observe celibacy only because the karmic body come with different karmic pattern, different karmic story. So they have also to fulfill those story accordingly, because part of them, even they are a perfect master, they still have physical body, physical life, just like us. So, three of my master, one of them, she observed celibacy, which is Supreme Master Xinghai. In the beginning of her searching, she was immigrant from Vietnam War during that time. So she moved to Europe, to immigrate to Europe, and she worked in Red Cross over there. And at that time, she met with German doctor, and she get married to this German doctor. And as she worked as a household wife, and as well, she had the job in Red Cross as translator for all the Vietnamese that immigrate from the war zone into Europe part. And the more she come in touch to these immigration people, then she found that, in this world, there's a lot of suffering. She feels sorry for them. She feels compassion for them very deeply. And she wants to find a way to end this suffering. And if she can end her own suffering, then she feels that she can tell the Vietnamese brother and sister that, how to do it. At that time, in her home, she has small shrines of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So she prayed to Kuan Yin Bodhisattva to find a way out of this suffering. And she realized that she had to find a living master to teach her how to raise above all of this suffering. And in her local community, there's no such master, saint, prophet, or any holy perfect master. And she heard that in India, there's a lot of saintly people. So she must go to India to find those kind of people and learn from them directly. So she consulted with her German doctor husband. She said she wants to go to India to find enlightenment, but there's no guarantee when she's gonna succeed that. She asked her husband to come with her, but the husband said, no, I have responsibility here. I have a lot of patients that depend on me. I have to continue to do the doctor duty in the hospital. So they come to the term that they would get divorced, because Supreme Master said, you are a doctor and you need somebody at home taking care of you, because you're doing a lot of hard work of helping other people. If I hold you as my husband and I'm not guaranteed the time that I will come back to you, I will be selfish to you. So they agreed to do divorce. And after that, with a broken heart on both sides, Supreme Master left to find the truth in India. So when she went to India, she get initiation from Tagasi, right, into the Sant part. She tried to practice in the ashram in India, and after that, she found that she needs to develop herself more in her own meditation. That's why she started to pursue her journey to the Himalaya. So she climbed up to the Himalaya, searching for a retreat place. or another enlightened being to help her. So she meets up with 900 years old monk. So his name was Kudaji. And Kudaji said that he has been waiting for Yogi Shinghai to show up very long time. And he would like to giving all the spiritual transmission to her and carry on the work for God. So after that, Supreme Master become renowned, mean that she become a female monk. In the Buddhism tradition, she become also Hindu monk. And after she become the monk, she go to America. She went to America, stay in New York sometime. And after that, she went to stay in an ashram in Taiwan. At that time, she's already become female monk. So she embraced the concept of celibacy. So after that, there are some Taiwanese spiritual people. They have vision about a great Buddhist sattva that reside in one particular temple. So they searching for her, knocking on her hut and asking her to give them initiation. So that's when her mission as a spiritual master starts. But later on, she said in one of the satsang, the spiritual discourse, she said, if only when I searching for the answer of enlightenment, I can find it locally in Europe, I wouldn't leave my husband. Because after some years, he still wrote to me and say to me, please come back, I'm still your husband. She said, but during that time, she's already embraced the concept of celibacy. She's already have her own disciple. So therefore, she stays celibacy for them. But after a while, when she starts to getting famous and have to do world tour, she tried to travel around the world to give lectures to people. And she find that being in the monk robe, there's a lot of misunderstanding and limitation while traveling. The custom in some of the country hold her and interview her very long time because they never see monk or nun travel before. So she feel like, okay, then there's no point to stay in this robe, as also in her disciple group, they have the romantic idea about celibacy as well. So a lot of sincere people come forward and ask her that, oh, can I become monk? Can I become nun in the ashram? And it starts to increase a lot of number and getting out of hand. So therefore, she said, no, you can still practice the part of the master, the light and sound method at home. There's no need to follow me, my own example, to become celibacy, to become monk or nun, just like me. You can do this at home. So that's the story of Supreme Master Xinghai, why she stays celibacy until today. But another two of my beloved master, Ishwapuriji and Babaji, Baba Govindaji, they both have family. There's one time when Ishwapuriji, he's in his teenage, he asked Great Master, Great Master, what is the path for me? What is the future for me? Should I stay celibate or should I get married? Great Master said that, oh, you have to get married to a girl. She's right now in New Delhi and your mother should contact her. And Ishwarji said, okay, Master, if it's a match, then I will marry this girl. So yes, he married this girl, and and stay with her until old age. So I would say, things like this, it depends on your karmic pattern, your karmic story. If it is the will of the Lord for you to stay celibacy, then it shall be, And if it is for you to stay in the family, then it shall be done as well. As for Babaji, sometimes he will suggest his follower and disciple, saying that if you want to cleanse your karma quickly and get advanced quickly on this spiritual path, you should get married because it's the best way to burn out your karma, being married and accept all the challenge of the family man or family woman.
So, are there any benefits with regards to uh, being a celibate in terms of meditation, from a meditation perspective?
Of course, because it will send you into the retreat mode. The retreat mode meaning that you can keep your attention higher. You can keep your attention at the wisdom eye center. If you be able to purify the three elements, the three bodies that connect with you, meaning you can purify the physical body, the astral body, and the causal body, then the attention will keep at the highest point at all times, right? But like the concept of celibacy, I would say that, once you get initiation from a perfect living master, there's no need to change the way of life to be celibacy. To like, okay, I get initiation from master already today. So today, me and my wife, we will separate bedroom, right? We will start to, observe celibacy at home. It should not be like that, Whatever you have been doing before initiation, you should be able to do the same without hurting anybody's feelings, right? But for you, in yourself, in your heart, not only physical body, in your heart, you should observe this concept of celibacy. For example, if you watch violent movie, a lot of killing, like a lot of sexual movie, it also violates the concept of celibacy as well. Why? Because your attention is going outside. You put your attention on the violent killing film, right? So that's also, not purify your mind. Make your mind running out, and and get violent picture printing in your mind, and it will be hard to get rid of that. And same as if you still eat meat, drinking alcohol, consume animal products, that's also not of the concept of celibacy or brahmachari. Because if you eating those things, it will make your body heavy. It's not gonna make your body lighter, and it's not gonna help you into your own retreat mode. Your attention will going down because you consume everything. Because all of that heavy food, heavy karmic food, is designed for you to take your attention downward into the creation. For example, if the monk and the nun, right, even they observe celibacy, they're not having a sexual attention, sexual activity at all in their whole lifetime. After they commit to the concept of monkhood, but if they're still eating meat, then the concept of Brahmachari or celibacy is also lacking in them.
So one of the points with regards to having a celibate lifestyle or celibate way of living is also the detachment nature. You want to detach yourself from lustful thoughts, or detach yourself from having lustful actions, right? So this brings me to a point where on the topic of detachment and how it relates back to how powerful your mind can be. So I think Ishwapuriji mentioned before that the mind doesn't actually have this concept of detachment. It's only on attachment, right? So maybe you can explain to the listeners, like how detaching yourself from something like lustful thoughts or even violence is actually counterproductive in your your effort to remove yourself from those impure thoughts.
You can't actually stop the mind of thinking. The mind is designed to work 24/7. The mind is still looking outside, even in your dreams, right? But Master provide a means to detach the mind from all of those things, where you can attach the mind to the Master, to the love of the Master, to the practice that lead to God realization. So Master always giving the tips where you can recite the holy mantra when you start feeling the lustful thought form in you. You can, for ordinary people where you not initiate yet and you're not follower of any particular master yet, if you have your own tradition mantra, please use that. But sincerely recite that in your heart. Then those feelings will eventually going away. But if you are initiate of master, then yes, you can thinking of master, you can start to recite the name, the holy word that master given you during the time of initiation. You can contemplate on the love, the experience of love that you have with the physical master. When you met with physical master, it's also work, because love wins everything. Love is the immense pulling power that when the love, the real love of the master comes and connect with you, you forget about everything else. So very fast, the attention from the lower chakra will raise up to your wisdom eye center in order to connect with this love from the master. So yes, that's the tip there that you can do, being initiate or non-initiate at home.
Okay. So just to wrap up your point there, you can't actually detach yourself from lustful thoughts. All you can do for your mind is actually to attach yourself to a higher, uh,
Power.
I would say higher power, higher quality of thought per se,
Yes.
which is none better than attaching yourself to actually your master. So only by doing that will the mind gain like satisfaction and look for something better than the energies of the lower chakras. That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about Ista Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You may also subscribe to our newsletter or email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. Thank you for listening.